Hello to all. Welcome to my channel. I have finally started this channel, and Exoticals United is actually the one that encouraged me to finally make the leap. You know, for a long time, I have been just kind of analyzing the community on YouTube concerning, colorism and just the spaces of, Black empowerment females. And for a very long time, I have noticed that light-skinned women, and specifically, I'm speaking of light-skinned Black women, they have always kind of been pushed out of the conversation whenever they would like voice their opinions in these spaces. And I have heard Exoticals United talk about this several times of how, she was constantly pushed out of these spaces. She was supporting these channels. And I am just so happy to finally see the other side, okay, which is light-skinned women. I'm so glad to finally see so many of us finally speaking out. Now, you guys, this has been going on for years. I'm talking about, all the way back like 2011. I can remember all the way back to like 2011 that these discussions have been going on about colorism and things like that. So, first, I just want to say that my channel, it's more of a channel that's going to just kind of welcome feedback from specifically, ambiguous or light-skinned women, mixed women. You guys are welcome as well. I know that Exotical United's channel is specifically for light-skinned women and mixed women. I think that it is time for this community to be created. It's overdue. I know a couple of years ago, I think there was a channel called Light Skin Tears. I don't know if you guys remember that. And she was like really like the only one that I had really seen on YouTube that had pretty much, gotten pretty successful. I think she had, close to maybe over like 10,000 subscribers. I think I heard that she ended up shutting down her channel. I'm not sure if somebody reported her channel as a hate channel, but she was like the only one that, I had seen that had actually created a space for light-skinned women to come together and talk about our experiences. And so when I saw Exoticals United, when I saw her channel, I was like, wow, finally, again, it's time. Now, my background, I am not a, quote unquote mixed woman, or what the Black community would, I guess, traditionally considered mixed. So both of my parents are Black, okay? They're just traditional Black Americans. I, however, came out looking very light-skinned. My dad, he was a light-skinned man. My mother was more of I would say just a brown woman. She was not light-skinned, but she was brown. And so I came out looking more like my dad, my dad's shade. But out of all of my brothers and sisters, I'm the lightest. And well, actually, my brother and my sister, I have a brother and sister that are light-skinned also, but I'm still like the lightest in the family. And I can easily be mistaken for, Puerto Rican, Spanish, Latina, or should I say Afro-Latina. So in the Black community, of course, it's very common that if you're light skinned at all in the Black community, you always get that, that silly question, what are you mixed with, and I have not done like a DNA test on myself, so I honestly don't know what I'm mixed with. Okay, I know that there's no way that I'm completely just of African ancestry based on my phenotype. So I am high yellow. My shade alternates, so I can, in the summertime, I can tan, pretty nice. And in the wintertime, I can get as pretty much as light as they come. My phenotype, I would say, is similar to, I'm just going to give you guys like a couple of celebrities just so that you can kind of put a image to my phenotype. Um, Beyonce, Faith Evans, Keisha Cole. Um, uh, yeah. So like, just imagine like all three of those in one. I've gotten told that I look like all of those at like before. So that is pretty much my phenotype. Now my hair is actually traditional like black hair. My hair is like 4C, 4B, and I do wear, a lot of extensions and things like that. But when I don't have the extensions in my hair and I just have my hair in its natural state, it's very clear, that I'm a black woman. But if I did want to wear, extensions or ponytails or just braids, anything like that, people will try to kind of figure out what I am. So all of my life, I have basically had the experience of a light-skinned black woman living in America. And I come from, I was born in the 80s. I'm not going to say the year, but I was born in the 80s and grew up in the 90s, when hip hop was like at its height, and I will say that times have really changed, but I will say that growing up, it was never really like a light skin, dark skin thing. And it could have been like the town that I was from, the city that I was from. I did not grow up like in a traditional, black area. I grew up in a very diverse area. It was a lot of Hispanics, a lot of military. I grew up around some African American families, but the neighborhood that I grew up in, it was predominantly military. So you had like families from all different backgrounds, and that's where I grew up at. So I never just grew up around like one culture. And I had friends of all backgrounds. Now the majority of my friends, I will say that I kind of clung to the black girls. That I identified with. Of course, we related based on the type of music that we liked and things like that. But yeah, it was never really like a light skin, dark skin thing. I really did not really start like hearing about the colorism talking points. I'm gonna be honest. I would say like kind of like in the late, maybe like 2014, 2015, maybe even later, when I started seeing like a lot of videos going around about colorism and stuff. And it was just like such a division between black Americans. Now, when I began, seeing, different videos going viral and different black women, specifically dark-skinned black women, coming out and talking about colorism and things like that, then I started kind of thinking back to, the time when I was growing up and thinking back to like girls in school and just, girls in high school and just my interactions with black women, and black girls along just my timeline of life. And it started to make sense. It started to make sense because I've never really, I would say, I've never really like connected with black women, even though I am in the culture and I of course come from a black family, but I never connected with black women. Um, and specifically like dark skinned women. I mean, I did have like dark skinned friends back in the day, but we kind of grew apart as we got older. But over the years, just, as I kind of elevated into my adult life, black women have never really just connected with me. Even if I attempted to try to connect with them, um, the friendships would never last. It just would never last, and I didn't understand. But I started putting the pieces together, okay? And this is what I started to come up with. So, a few reasons that I can think that, over the years, my relationships with most black women were rocky. I'm going to say, first of all, I am considered, an attractive woman. I'm not going to downplay my looks because I am attractive, and as a woman, as an attractive woman, when you're an attractive woman, okay? And that's not just like your own belief, but that comes from the validation that you get on an everyday basis from society, from your family, from growing up. So when you are an attractive woman. So I am deemed a beautiful woman in society. So, of course, that was part of the issue with these connections with many of these black women. And then the fact that I was light skinned, I believe that played a very big role. And it took me a long time to actually come to the realization of that, because I started to see how other light skinned women were being treated. And I started to hear different stories from other light skinned women, and it just kind of started to make sense as I started to put the pieces together. Um, Now, a lot of my experiences are not like as brutal as a lot of the light skinned women when I hear them talk about their stories. I've heard some horrible stories, like women getting their hair pulled out and getting bullied and things like that. Um, I never went through that. For one, like I said, my family is black. So I have family of all colors. I mean, all the way from dark as coal to as white as, she could look white. I have family members that actually look white. I have a niece that looks white. Um, her mother, which is my sister, is black, but she did have a baby with a white man, so she came out looking, she's mixed, but she came out looking white, so she literally looks like a white female. So my family is comprised of, a rainbow of colors. But I do come from the traditional black family. So, I'm used to, the family reunions and, just being around black Americans. So I know how to, pretty much, I guess you could say, clap back when someone's trying to test me, So I always knew how to stand up for myself. So I wasn't that type of female that you could bully, and that could have had a lot to do with why my experience was not like some, light skinned women. Um, but yeah, so I'm not going to just like ramble on in this video, but I just wanted to do an introduction video and just, let you guys know that this is a new channel, and I welcome feedback, from light skinned women, mixed women. You guys are welcome. Exoticals. I just love that term, and I just think it's so great that exoticals all over the world are finally coming together and talking about our experiences. But yeah, so this is what my channel is for. We're going to talk a little bit about everything on this channel, okay? Everything. I'm talking about the experiences that we go through as exoticals, as light-skinned women on an everyday basis. Now, a lot of my talking points, I would say that they probably are going to align with Exoticals United more. Only because, I am from the black community. So that is really all I know, and all of my experiences are pretty much dealing with mostly, African Americans or Black Americans, however you want to identify them. That's where most of my experiences come from. You know, I was raised in America, and I'm going to discuss my experiences. Specifically, like I said, my involvement, you know, in connection with people in the Black community and how I feel, you know, that light skinned people are treated, and my own personal opinion of unambiguous Black women and their, you know, a lot of their behavior. And yeah, so welcome to my channel. Um, this is Light Skin and Proud of It. I was trying to figure out if I wanted to change my name, but you know, I'm gonna keep it. I think it's a good name, you know, and I am light skinned and proud of it. So welcome to my channel, and come back for more wonderful content. Talk to you guys later. Bye.